Joining us now, economist Peter Morici, professor of international business at the University of Maryland. Good morning to you. We'll talk about Musk here in a moment, but let's start with the tariff talk. The Trump proposal, what would be the short and long-term impact of these types of tariffs?
Well, a 20% across the board tariff would be very, very negative because we could expect our trading partners to retaliate. It would lower our standing in the world. A lot of our international relationships are based on trust, and I think that would be viewed as a gross violation of trust. It would permanently rupture our relations with the Europeans. A big tariff on China is a bit of a different thing. It depends on how it's managed. What's coming out of China is heavily subsidized, and it enjoys an undervalued currency. A big tariff might actually return us to equilibrium. Now, would it raise prices? Yes. The question is, what would he do with the money? If you just put a tariff on and then return the money to the people that are paying it so that they just spent it on other stuff, they wouldn't necessarily be all that worse off. But an across-the-board tariff, I don't see how you do it without making everybody else worse off.
And if it were to come to fruition, he gets elected and puts these tariffs into place, how long before Americans, Peter, would start to feel the effects?
Oh, you'd start to see the effects pretty quickly. One of the problems, I've written about the 60% tariff. I said, if you put it on and then give the money back to the folks, it's a wash, except that they won't be buying Chinese stuff. They'll be buying other stuff. However, you're going to have the tariff come in much more rapidly than you are going to give the money back. So they would feel it right away. And I don't think there's any way around that. And, maybe he has some magicians over there with Peter Navarro, but I'm not aware that they have those magical qualities.
You've got U.S. companies now coming forward saying that they would have to raise prices as a result of some of these policies. Why would that be?
Well, simply, if you have to pay a tax on something coming in the country, you've got to pass the cost along. You can't swallow it. So it's like raising the corporate income tax. I mean, that's going to get passed along, too, if Kamala gets her win. Both of these candidates have a very inflationary platforms. Now, I would caution you about one thing about Trump. He might have the authority in a period of a few months to raise the tariffs on Chinese goods. There are ways he could get that done legally. A 20% across the board tariff on everything, that really needs congressional assent. Should be reasonably easy to stop in court.
What about government spending and this Elon Musk idea that he'd get in there and he would kind of gut the government spending and save trillions of dollars? What are your economic concerns with something like this?
Well, Elon knows a lot about making cars and somewhat about artificial intelligence and so on. I don't think he's looked at a government pie chart. 63% of the federal spending is entitlements programs. Exactly who's he going to cut? Another 10 to 20 to 15% is defense spending. Then there's interest on the national debt. When you get down to discretionary spending, it's a very small slice. The only way you can cut that kind of money is to shut down whole agencies like the Department of Education or the office, that deals with discrimination, things like this. And they may want to do that. But again, you can't do that without congressional legislation. So I don't think that these things are going to happen or happen terribly quickly. I don't think they're going to happen at all. It's much more likely that there'll be both candidates will cut taxes a bit for some people, raise them on others, and we'll get a bigger deficit on net because they'll cut taxes more than they raise them. In Kamala's case, it'll be through tax credits for childcare and things like that. But I don't see that either of them are talking about the budget in terribly responsible ways.
Interesting. Economist Peter Morici, thanks for stopping by this morning. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.